Welcome back to week 2 of the Walker Valley Football Coaches Show with Walker Valley head football coach Drew Akins. I'm Andy Morris along with Jacob Mason, and we're presented by Wright Brothers Construction. Shout out to Wright Brothers for everything they do for this program. Going into week 2, of course, it is Bradley week, first home game of 2025. And before we dive too much into Bradley and talk about that, and of course, we're going to do our film study in the second half of the show as well. I want to talk about the 28-3 victory over at Benny Monroe Stadium against crosstown rivals Cleveland.
Yeah, really cool night. I told Jacob on Friday night. I think it was a really sign of a culture win for us. I think I said that after the game. I don't know what I said. It's been a crazy 48, 72 hours, but it felt like it was a great culture win for us. Our culture really showed through on Friday night. We didn't do everything perfect, but I thought you could see our discipline on display. I thought you saw our effort and our pride in what we do on display. And I think our kids are really buying into that. And for the preseason, we kind of worked on those things, and we didn't show a ton of success because we had some mistakes, and we weren't full strength in one of our scrimmages. And thing after thing kind of showed up in the preseason. So it was really cool to see us kind of take that next step during game 1. So really proud of our guys, really proud of our culture, and really excited about where we go from here.
Have you been busy the past 48 hours, 72 hours?
It has been kind of hit and miss. It's been a fun 48 hours, man. Really excited to welcome Lennox John to the world. He's been awesome. It's been really fun to be around him and spend some time with him and the family. But excited to be back. I've taken this week off, but I'm coming up for football practice. He's been a really cool kid though so far, and hopefully, knock on wood, he'll continue to go through the process. And he's sleeping at night. He's eating really well, so it's been really fun having him here.
Worked out pretty good, him showing up on Friday, not Thursday.
It was perfect, man. It's like we planned.
Yeah, that's awesome, Coach. Well, hey, let's dive into the defense. I love talking about it. The front seven, in my opinion, stood out on Thursday night. I keep on wanting to say Friday, but on Thursday night. And you also had some newcomers.
Yeah.
Miles Hawk coming in with 10 tackles. I'm pretty sure 2 sacks in the game. But really, your front seven looked good, and your DBs looked good as well. As a team effort, I believe you had 4 turnovers. So just talk about your defense performance on Thursday night.
Yeah, from the jump, we've had a lot of struggles. It's kind of weird when you look back at the last 4 Cleveland games. Whoever kind of jumps out, it felt like every one of those games somebody's kind of made a play at the very start to make it uncomfortable. 4 years ago, they returned a kickoff, the opening kickoff for a touchdown. 3 years ago, we threw the opening pass to Roman Yulo down the sideline. Last year, obviously, they jump out to a 21-0 lead. And then this year, Jonathan West gets a forced fumble to start. We go down and score, and we start the game with a kickoff and a touchdown within the first 2 minutes. So really started the game off strong with a turnover. But throughout the game, I thought our defense did a great job of understanding what our game plan is. Don't give up the deep ball. Their quarterback is outstanding at throwing the deep ball. He's really, really talented on the run, being able to still find, keep his eyes downfield and be able to throw the ball deep. Their receivers have a lot of talent when it comes to that. So we really stressed to our guys all week, hey, you got to make sure that you're staying on top of the deep ball. Because we felt like if we made them drive it, eventually we'd get them into a negative play. And if we got them to a negative play, we could get them chasing or in the drive. And I thought our defense did an outstanding job, of that through the night. Caleb Jackson, I thought, played a great game. But when you look, I could go name after name. Caleb Jackson, Braylon Beard early on had a great quarterback run stop. Tyler Goldman was all over the place all night. Miles Hawk with 10 tackles and 2 sacks. I thought Thavin Scruggs played a great game. Having AB back has been just a game changer for our defense. Michael Wood played solid football all night long, staying on top of stuff. C.T. Gunner, with his first start in his career as a junior, played so well at that backside safety. Our D-line was outstanding throughout the night, controlling the line of scrimmage. Lane Ferris and Cooper Godsey, Eli Robinson, 4 turnovers. We talk about turnovers in here a lot. When you win the turnover battle, you win the game a lot of the time. So 4-1 in the turnover battle. Just thought our defense played outstanding. If we can play like that, throughout the season, then we're going to put ourselves in an opportunity to win ball games. To get to the fourth quarter and our offense be able to win some ball games late.
Coach, going back over to the offensive side of the ball, obviously the conversation starts with number 6, Roman Yulo. 3 rushing touchdowns, also had a receiving touchdown. But this guy can't be left off the conversation. Kason Cunningham had 146 yards rushing. Big night for him as well.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Well, let's start with Roman. So Roman had played a great game. 4 catches, 60-something yards, and a touchdown. Obviously, the rushing touchdowns. We'll talk about that when we get to Kason. Roman's such a good player. He's an all-state player. We're going to find ways to get him the football. What's different is, man, the guys around Roman this year really make it difficult to do anything but single cover Roman. Sawyer Boyd, I thought, had a great night. Made some big time plays on comebacks across the middle on a third down play. I thought he had an outstanding night, which makes it really difficult to go double team Roman when Sawyer's having that much success. And then you add in Luke Hayden, who, we didn't target the other night, but is going to get targets. He's a 6'5", 195-pound kid. That's a great athlete that started every game. He's going to get targets. Joseph Arnett has had a great offseason. So the guys around Roman made Roman better, and that's exciting to see. Kason Cunningham had the best camp of any player on our team. We told him what he needed to do to be successful, and Kason, man, he absolutely showed up throughout camp, and it paid off on Thursday night. I did the same thing. Paid off on Thursday night with a great performance. Breaking tackles. That was the biggest thing we talked to him in the preseason. Hey, what's your next step? Well, your next step is you got to start making these guys miss. A hand on you can't tackle you. You got to run through those things. And you can tell he's worked on it, and he's become a really strong runner. His quickness is next level. But the next piece was that strong run, and man, he showed that the other night, having multiple runs where he breaks a tackle and gains, several yards after the first hit. So excited for that. Again, that's another guy that if he's able to do what he's able to do, you can't double team Roman, you can't double team Sawyer. So now it puts a lot of one-on-one situations throughout the field. So that's really exciting to see. It makes Chase's job a lot easier, makes my job as a play caller a lot easier. So really excited to see where we progress from here.
Coach, you mentioned Chase Stevens, your quarterback. It was a little bit of a homecoming for him going back to Cleveland, getting his first start as a Walker Valley Mustang at quarterback. Yeah. If you could kind of talk about the dynamic, we saw a neat moment after the game where he embraced McGowan. They took some pictures together. Healthy relationship there, but at the same time, it's an emotional game.
Yeah, I think that game, no matter what, these in-county games are emotional games. Chris Brown, we talked about it. It's well documented. Me and Chris Brown are great friends. We talked today for 10, 15 minutes about ball. I was asking him a question about football, and he gladly answered it. So it's an emotional game, but I think a lot of the animosity is out of these things where we can cheer for each other after, but we're going to go compete, and it's going to be emotional, and we're both going to try to win. But it's really an exciting atmosphere to be able to go across at the end of the game, shake hands with one of your best friends, and I think you saw that throughout. I think me and Chris Brown did that, but you saw Chase and McGowan did that. You saw a lot of the former Cleveland players that are on our team now going over and shaking hands with former teammates. So it's a really cool thing that's how these rivalries are now. There's a lot of animosities out of it, and it's just, hey, we're going to go play a game. We're going to go try to win. Absolutely, we want to win these games. I think they affect a lot in our county of where people decide they want to go to school. But ultimately, I think we're going to end up trying to, cheer for each other after we're playing. So it's been really cool to watch. It is a fun county we live in. It really is. And to have these county games and the amount of people that show up and the excitement around them, it's a lot of fun. So we got another emotional one this week.
One of the things that I love to talk about is special teams. A lot of people don't realize that it's really 1/3 of the game. By the time that you punt, by the time that you're receiving punts, kicking off, you're spending a lot of time, and it has some major repercussions. One big thing that happened, being able to have a guy like Roman Yulo, a lot of people know him on the football field, but he was also a very, very talented soccer player as well. being able to mix him in that package. Just kind of talk about what you thought about your special teams play on Thursday night.
Yeah, we had a lot of explosive plays on specials. We have goals every week, and we have 3 goals for special teams. And we hit all 3 goals on special teams. We hit all 3 goals on defense. We missed a couple goals on offense and then hit all of our team goals. So we hit a bunch of goals, but special teams is a big part of that. And we try to treat special teams the way it deserves, as a third of the game, that we're going to go in and we're going to make sure that we're prepared as anybody on that side of the ball. We've worked it more this year than we've ever worked it. But having Roman back there definitely makes it a unique situation when you go to punt and you're able to do some of the stuff we're able to do with our punt team. It makes it hard to rush. It makes it hard to try to come after it, because one mistake and now you're putting Roman in open field. You saw that the other night. He made a great decision. Somebody on the sideline, one of my really good friends, was on the chains for Cleveland on Thursday night, and he said, "Hey, that was a great call on the fake punt." I was like, "Man, I didn't even know we had that in our playbook. I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't even know we'd worked it." So, Coach Patterson's in charge of our punt team. He put that punt in and gave Roman the freedom to make that decision. It was an impact play that set up a score, but we also had a recovery, a fumble recovery. Brody Crooms had a fumble recovery on a punt. So we had a lot of success throughout the night. I thought we had a big return on a kickoff. Roman about bust one, but starting to drive at the 50-yard line is huge. I thought our kickoff coverage was great throughout the night. Obviously making all your extra points. So I think we really put a focus on that in July and August, and I think it showed up the other night.
Coach, real quick, we're going to go to a break, but when we come back, one of our favorite, for sure Jacob's favorite part of this, is our film study that we go over with you. You break down a few plays from last week's game. Excited to do that. But be sure, I want to get this out there. Be sure to our viewers, listeners, tune in to The Drive on ESPN Cleveland on 101.3 every Tuesday at 5 o'clock. Coach Drew Akins will join the show. It's usually around 5:40 roughly is when Coach Akins joins the show. And sometimes we ask him some of the same questions we ask here. Sometimes we talk a little Ole Miss football. It just depends how Coach is feeling. But be sure to tune into that on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. With that, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we've got our film session followed by a little bit of a Bradley preview. Welcome back to the Walker Valley Football Coaches Show with head football coach Drew Akins. I'm Andy Morris along with Jacob Mason, and we're presented by Wright Brothers Construction. Coach, Jacob's favorite part of the show, definitely one of my favorite. I like hearing you talk, though. You do a good job in the first segment.
I appreciate it.
But excited to do the film breakdown here with you today.
Yeah, excited to open up. Not a whole lot of scheme stuff this week. But do want to show off some players and some plays that we made throughout the night. So
of course you're able to see this on YouTube, on the WCLE page, the Walker Valley YouTube page as well. If not, you can listen along, and we'll break it down as much as possible for our radio listeners.
Absolutely. So early in the game, we talked about this when we talked about our defensive segment. But Jonathan West making a big time play to open the game, crosses the center's face. As always, the best view is the drone view, right? So you'll see Jonathan, I'm going to do the laser right here. So Jonathan is on the laser pointer. We put in some of our D-line stunts throughout this last week, and those showed up really, really well the other night. But Jonathan is going to slant to the right. He's going to cross the center's face, get to the mesh point, and, man, it was a mad dash. And I didn't know if we got it or not, but it was really cool to see us start the year out with a forced fumble and fumble recovery by Braylon Beard. Again, those guys, the linebacker core and the D-line, the front seven, played so well the other night. So really cool start to the year. Early on, we jump into our load package. Load looks a little different this year. We added some more bodies, some more gap, and then obviously you got Sawyer Boyd out at receiver. That makes him, you got to respect what he's able to do out there. So really excited about the opportunities that we have out of this package. But again, you see, if you watch it from the drone shot, a great insert here by our Y-backs. So our Y-backs are going to kick. You're going to get a double insert from the guard and the Y-back. and hits backside A on A-gap power, which is a unique. I feel like the way we run power is unique, and the fact that it can hit backside A, and that's where you see there that we are able to hit backside A-gap and be able to score a touchdown with Roman hitting away from where the actual play's called, which is pretty cool.
And it's a downhill run for Roman.
It is a downhill run.
Is the patience taught, or is that something that just comes naturally to Roman? You know, you see right there, like he kind of is patient in the hole, lets the blocks develop, and then is able to see the lane that bounces outside. Is that something that we've had to work with him on, or is that something that just comes naturally?
You know, it's definitely something we talk about. You know, you can't rush power. Power has to develop. Some of the best running backs that I've had in this scheme have been the best running backs, not because they're the fastest or the most powerful or this or that. It's because they're patient and they let the play develop. So as you go through this slowly, I mean, there's a lot that has to happen here. We're getting an ace to the backside backer. We're getting a down block. Cooper Bitzel does a great job here on the down block. They actually end up doing a little twist here with the linebackers, and we scoop both of these guys up. Backside tackle gets a great gap here to not let this guy. So this is Jonathan West just caused a fumble here, right? Crossing face. So now we have to make sure that we don't allow that. So we get it across his face. Lane gets a great block on the D gap. But yeah, you have to. There's a lot that has to happen here. And if you beat the guard here, now you can see it. Let's say that Roman's faster than the guard. Well, now they got two guys in the hole, and they're able to make a play unblocked. But you can see the lane right here. You see that? That's what we're trying to hit. We're looking for that lane, either front side A or backside A, where we're trying to hit that. So it's definitely a patient run. Power always is. And some of the best guys I've ever had at it understand patience when they're running this play. So really cool. That's a great way to start the season, obviously. Talking about special teams. So again, this is one that I guess it had been talked. Talking scheme here, or talking thought process. I wish I could give y'all a thought process, but ultimately, we're going to give Roman the opportunity where if he sees a lane, and y'all can see here, there's a lot of space here, and when you give Roman that much space, and we got an art block here, we got an art block we got a double team on this guy right here. We got a reach block here. Our center's going to be covering this way. We're going to roll out. Caleb's going to also be reach blocking. So there's a lot of guys going to the space, and when you vacate that space, we give Roman the freedom to make this decision. So really cool to see him do that and really turned into a big-time play for us, getting that first down. So, got it by a couple yards. We line back up, and we end up scoring on this drive because of that. So pretty cool, even though I can't take credit for it. I wish I could.
Well, one thing that I like, just looking at this pre-snap, you show a little bit of an unbalanced set, and Cleveland's adjusted to that.
Yeah. And again, you got Sawyer Boyd out here. You got Miles Hawk out here. You got Brody Crooms, who is a great athlete. You can see Brody, by his tempo, running downfield actually allows this to open up for us. So really cool play, really cool opportunity. For our specials to be on display.
Let's keep that one in the back pocket
I
a little
know,
bit.
right?
We need to edit this a little bit.
Need
Coach. Come on now.
Hey, well, having that as something we can do really makes it tough to rush. That's what we talked about earlier. So, it makes it more difficult to come after it when you're worried about that. So, kind of like people knowing we can do it.
A little gamesmanship there from Coach Akins.
You just never know. Thought this was a great throw and catch. This is something we work a lot. It's hard to tell in that, but again, this is something we work a lot of, just a back shoulder vertical, where both the quarterback and the receiver are aware, hey, we're going to try to hit back shoulder here. So, we're running that vertical ball, and you can see Roman kind of pressing vertical into the end zone, but then when he sees the ball thrown, he kind of is knowing, hey, I may have to adjust to a back shoulder throw here. This is something we've ran for years, going all the way back to when I was at Ooltewah High School. Edward Montgomery was one of the best I've ever had at doing this. And obviously Roman's done it for a while now, and he understands the concept. So really cool getting a score there. Right before halftime, this is a big play for us. It's 21-3 at this point. Thought our defense had played extremely well. But we had given up a long kickoff return. They had gotten into this drive. It's 3rd down and long. If they convert this, I think at the very least they're going to try to kick a field goal. Great job by Caleb Jackson being able to cut 2, get under 1, make a drive on the ball, and undercut that and get interception, kind of end the threat of a score right there before halftime. So really cool play by our defense. Again, turnovers are such a big part of this game. And for us to come away with 4 turnovers is a big night.
And you could tell Caleb did a great job not only reading the break of the receiver, but following the quarterback's eyes.
Yeah, dude, what a great job by him. I love the drop, the pass drop to get under 2, make him go vertical, get his eyes back. Right, what you're saying right there. That's a Jacob Mason point right there by you, Andy. You better watch out. You're going to become a defensive guy.
Take it easy on the defensive
Yeah,
side
be
here,
careful, man. But for him to get through, cut 1, and then get his eyes back to the cue, that's a really good play by him, man. So turnovers were a huge part of the game. And to see Caleb be able to do that was a big moment. I want to end here. We talked about it in our segment. Cason Cunningham, what a great night running the football. But you see his physicality there. That's what we've been talking about all offseason. In the spring, he would have been tackled by that first hit. And that's something when we had our spring meetings, after spring, we always have a conversation with our guys. Hey, this is what we need to see for you to have the opportunity to play. And when you look at this right here, he's got an unblocked hat to the play side. He's got a guy coming off a block. We got a safety coming over top. And he runs through all 3 of those guys. And 33-yard run, explosive play for us in the run game. We got to have that out of Cason. So seeing that, it's really special. Gives me a lot of excitement about our run game. I would be remiss if I didn't say I thought our O-line played really well. When you look at their ability to make some of the blocks they made, open up gaps for Cason. Some of our power runs throughout the night were really, really pretty. And those guys have worked their tails off since spring, probably our most improved position group. So really excited about them as a position group.
Coach, obviously, as we move on to this week, it is week 2, Bradley week, first home game of the year. There's so much going on with that rivalry in itself, but getting to be back on campus at the MAC on a Friday night is a big deal for all these football players and your staff. If you could just kind of preview that game a little bit for us.
Yeah, really excited to host Bradley Central. Obviously, it's been a well-documented how great of a program they've been over the last, 10 years, 20 years under Coach Floyd. They're a very talented football team. Their defensive lineman is one of the best, not only in the area but in the state. We've got to make sure that we know where he is all the time and make sure that we're doing our best to get him covered up and protect quarterback as well as running back in the run game. Very talented football team. They have the ability to take shots vertically. They showed that the other night with some big-time plays in the pass game. They had a kickoff return for a touchdown. So they got guys all over the place that can make plays. McMinn's a great football team. It was a great ball game between 2 really good teams. And watching the film, you realize that could have easily gone either way. So we got to make sure that we turn the page emotionally, that we're ready to play. But so excited to be back here. One of my favorite things is a Friday night here at the MAC. I think we've done a great job creating a really cool atmosphere. So really excited to be back home to do that.
So one thing I do want to let our viewers know that this week the Mustangs did come in ranked number 5 in the state in Class 5A. So come out, cool. Bring that energy, come out, support here at the MAC. We're going to go on live with pregame on Cleveland's Oldies 99.1 at 6:30, kickoff at 7 o'clock. Very excited to be back home for a Friday night football game, and especially against a big crosstown rival, Bradley. Coach, anything specific about the pregame kickoff at Charleston night? As a matter of fact, that's something we can talk about.
We have Charleston night, so we're excited to welcome back Charleston alumni as always. Something that when I first got the job, I always said I want to give those people that graduated from Charleston High School a home. And I feel like we've really worked hard to give them a home here at Walker Valley. So excited to welcome Charleston alumni back. Also, we didn't mention, we're also debuting our new visitor side bleachers. So if you haven't come to Bradley versus Walker Valley because the visitor side was too small, we have almost doubled our visitor side. So
There's going to be a lot of happy Bradley fans.
Excited
we might have heard that before.
Yeah, excited to add some visitor bleachers to give our visitors better opportunity to get a seat and find it. I hope we're standing room only, even with the visitor side addition. But so thankful for our county. I try to always mention at the start of the year, our county does such a great job supporting athletics and everything athletics, from the cross country to wrestling to basketball to football to baseball, softball, all around. Our county does an unbelievable job of supporting athletics, and it shows every single year by the next thing that Bradley schools get. So very excited to debut that side of the field, but it should be a very fun night between two really good football teams, and we're hoping we can get to the end and be competitive and put our guys in a situation to win a ball game.
Once again, you'll be able to catch pregame on Cleveland's Oldies 99.1 with Jacob and myself. Right before leading us into the 7 o'clock kickoff, excited to be back at the MAC. Come out, support the Mustangs. You can get tickets, Gobbles Automotive, Town Squire, Monogram Market. Am I forgetting any?
At both front offices as well. I'm pretty sure Bradley's front office has tickets, as well as Walker Valley's front office. So really highly recommend going to get a ticket before getting here on Friday, because I'm pretty sure the ticket booth line is going to be pretty long.
Jacob's going to be down signing autographs pregame too, so feel free to meet up with him for that. Coach, thank you for your time.
Absolutely.
As always, go Mustangs.